Sound the Body Heat. About to make that transition. You know how we do it. Good morning. About to make that transition to the live. Ladies and gentlemen, showtime.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Let's get down on the good news train. Have your morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Get the 311 before the morning's done. Laugh until you cry. You can always rely on morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Morning coffee with Mario.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. And if you're here with us, you're probably late for work. I know. But good morning, everybody. What can I say? It's Morning Coffee with Mario. You know, we're deep now into the fall season, and it's been a blast because fall represents change. I don't know about you all, but I've already noticed the change in the weather, Vic. It's cooler. We finally get it to be a little more mellow.
Right.
And also, it's starting to get darker a little earlier.
People are getting darker or the sky getting darker? The
sky getting darker, the people were getting darker, but now not so much.
All right. I feel you. I feel you.
Hey, you guys, so things are going good for us. I got to give you the announcements of what's been going on around here. For one, a lot of you have been reacting to last Friday's broadcast where Miko actually did makeup on Vic. And she did makeup on Vic, and it was very realistic. She wanted to make it look like he had a bullet wound to the head. Let's see, there you go. I got
now,
it.
You may have to pull up something because I'm not seeing your display, so I just want to make sure.
It's over here.
Yeah, I know, but it's not coming up here.
No, because it's on this one.
Okay, because this one's not showing over here.
Remember, you got to unplug.
I got you.
Plug
Okay,
the power back.
You got it.
So this is the one where, so anyway, Miko did Vic's makeup to make it look like, I guess he had a bullet wound to the head. And so people have been writing in. We've been getting a lot of response to that.
Oh, there it goes. All right. Let's see here.
We always have to fix stuff.
Man, we gotta do it.
That's worth waiting for, right?
No, man. No, it's not.
So take a look. That's supposed to be a bullet wound. And when Miko started out, she was putting on black. And I said, damn, she's trying to make Vic darker.
That's jacked up, man. That's jacked up.
But it turned out that she did the whole bullet wound. And there's another picture I like. It's at the home page. Let me show you. Because there's one. Because I thought it made Vic kind of look like a zombie.
Oh, yeah. Well, people were telling me I look like a zombie without the makeup.
See, there you go, you guys.
That's cold, man. That's wrong. You know what? I was feeling myself. You know what? Hey, look, if you're going to put the makeup on, you're going to do this, you got to take it all the way. And I told her, I said, what good is it going to do if... Well, she didn't want to go there. Because if I sit there and say, hey, look, you know what, I'm feeling this wound, I'm feeling a change, it ain't going to happen, man. Not with Miko. She's not trying to go there.
Well, she did an excellent job. Everybody give it up. Just give her a clap.
Oh, yeah.
Miko, she's doing her makeup for her class. You know, she's getting her stuff all together, so we got to give it up and show her support.
Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty good.
No, she did good. I mean, and look, just give credit now. She took advantage of your special effects kit. So remember now, you got to give yourself credit because otherwise, you got to say Mario said I had a vision that Miko one day will come in here and either work on my predator locks or Victor's bald head. Guess what? I won.
I guess you're right. I do buy a bunch of toys, you guys. We have a bunch of stuff coming up. I bought a bunch of makeup stuff, including like about 8 or 9 different colors of what they call clay.
Yeah.
Clay to color my locks,
Yeah.
purple, red, yellow. So we're trying to get ready for these upcoming shows and getting the characters sort of lined up. So that's what some of this stuff is doing. Man, you guys. And so I guess you guys have been getting over the weekend of the Kavanaugh nomination. I know. I know.
Right.
Y'all didn't watch the news. I didn't watch the news. But remember, I'm going to talk a little bit about that today in the news section of Morning Coffee about what the Kavanaugh nomination means and doesn't mean. So that's part of the news today. But I know on today, Monday, you're kind of still recovering from that whole Kavanaugh nomination. So I just want to say, I'm sorry. In fact, let's have Alexa sort of cheer us up. Alexa, sing "Good Morning" for all the people.
Good Morning, featuring Toby Mac by Mandisa. Starting now on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, sing "Good Morning." Sing.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
All right. Got to say happy birthday to Phil Cusper's mom, Mother Cusper, you guys.
Happy
93
birthday.
years. I got a picture of her. 93 years.
Wow.
93 years. Give it up.
Congrats, man. Got good genes. Great
Now,
genes.
of course, PMC, which is what we call her son Phil, we call him our brother from another mother. I am noticing that your mother's 93, and Uncle seems to be handling in there too, but that doesn't necessarily mean your ass.
That's wrong. That's just
But maybe
wrong.
it does. Damn, PMC, I'm kind of jealous. You got one of them long-living families. When you meet people that, oh yeah, everybody in my family lives to like a 95. You're like, damn. Not the Hemsleys. My dad used to say they don't collect Social Security. So I'm just saying. Man, but gotta give it up. I gotta give it up for PMC's mom looking good.
No, good, man. We can all be so fortunate to get into what we call the 9 series. That's what I call it. Struggling through the 6s. Some people not thinking about it. But to get to the 8s, and she's in the 9s, man. Almost a centurion, man.
I'm saying it's wonderful stuff, you guys. Hey, we got a bunch of things coming up today. Full news section. I told you we're talking about the Kavanaugh nomination. In terms of the marijuana for dummies section, I got a great article I want to discuss with you about Canada's upcoming change to allow the legal use of recreational marijuana countrywide. Countrywide in Canada, y'all. So we're going to talk about, Vic, what?
Well, I can wait until you hit the subject if you want. I don't want to indulge since you're going over the topics right now. I was just going to ask you a quick question about the LAX update with marijuana.
Well, people are giving me updates about that. We posted last week that LAX was now allowing you to have marijuana in your carry-on. And so someone on Facebook told me that they've been doing it.
Now, do they work for the government?
No, they've been traveling. They say they put it in a container right there in their luggage.
And they're flying within California?
They're flying.
Well,
Obviously they're flying to,
right.
You got to fly to places where it's legal.
You may get off the plane.
This is not a country where it's
right.
legal. You can
Right.
fly into the wrong spot. Your ass.
They be waiting
Don't
for
be
you.
black.
They be waiting for you
Right.
on the
Don't
tarmac.
be black flying
Going
around
right
with some weed.
With the Hat Brothers will be
I already
walking right
told
towards
people
you.
I'm not going. I don't listen. What I do is fly places where they have weed. See, so I don't travel with
Right,
weed.
man.
I fly places where they have weed, and when I get there, I get weed.
Okay. So,
That's the way I do it. I don't know how y'all do
so
it.
you
but
what you saying? You don't trust the system?
I'm just saying.
You don't trust the system, man?
I'm not a trusting person, and I'm black.
Wait a minute. Are you still?
So I'm just saying, I'm not trusting.
You feel better going to South America, the Big U?
Hell no. I don't feel better. You know, I'm there. Every place got corruption.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Every place. You be in the motherland, Asia, Latin America, here.
What country do you feel?
Europe, all of them got corruption, especially when it comes, you got to pay somebody off to have some weed.
What country has the best protections for your individuality? If you had to pick a place and say, this is where you get the best representation. Now, it's always good.
For your individuality?
Yeah.
Well, there is some competition on that.
Right.
But it tends to be, I guess, the Western, more Western ones.
Yes, I agree.
But who knows?
That's what I'm saying. It's
in America, we say because it's freedom of speech, but you better watch what you say.
Right. Cancun is not the same anymore.
I'm just saying,
that's another subject.
All of that. Right. Okay, so we got a full thing coming up today, Vic. You got hot picks. You got some sports.
Yeah, I got some sports. A lot going over. I'm not going to even get into the baseball because I'm not trying to. I don't want to do the statistical report, but I got to give props to the Dodgers. You just sit back and say, hey, get in there and compete. I'm going to hit the football. We're going to get the quarterbacks who you believe the rookies who are going to come up and take their team to the playoffs. So I'm making this obvious. Will one of them get into the playoffs? And if none, we'll decide. Also, Buenos Aires. New sports coming in the game, you guys. Get ready. It's unfolding that, the young people are going like, we can't wait for you guys to develop these countries in the sport you want. We're going to take the sports that we want. We'll talk about that too. Outside
you already did battle bots. We got a whole new sports section with battle bots, you guys. So
and the championship is done. Yes, and the championship is done. We have a new champion in battle bots. It's already been. You guys already know.
Man, we got battle bots.
Yeah.
Who has that shit? Nobody.
Yeah, get ready.
All right.
Oh, hot picks. I don't know if Mario's going to follow this. Female rappers in hip hop beef. We're going to look at the top beefs and who we thought are the winners of those
They've been
beefs.
fighting lately.
Oh, yeah. And there's an obvious one that's left off. We'll see if you guys know who it is.
All right. Well, all right. So stay tuned for all that good stuff, you guys. Hey, I always find crazy videos, and so I decided to add that to the morning. Here's my latest crazy video. So this lady goes outside, and there's a alligator sleeping on her mat.
What? Okay, wait.
Did you see that?
Wait a minute. Did she say how big the alligator was?
I want you to see the alligator. She goes outside, and there's an alligator sleeping on her mat.
She knows where Mama lives, right? Jeez, man. Oh, that is...
That's why I don't live in Florida.
You're rich.
No, that's not Florida. That's Louisiana.
Oh, that's
another
better.
place I don't live.
Wait a minute. Are you okay? Are you indicting the Gulf of Mexico, bro?
No, I'm indicting Louisiana.
Wait a minute.
I'm just saying.
Okay, compare that.
Just saying.
Compare that to your raccoon encounter on the back porch versus an alligator on your front porch.
I'd rather deal with the raccoon. What Victor's talking about the other day, I heard some ruckus on my back porch, and I go on my back porch, and it's two raccoons. They like this big, two of them.
One sitting on the washer.
Trying to eat the cat food. Two big ass raccoons. I'm a dazzling urbanite. I'm a city dweller. We don't deal with wild creatures
Did they
of
leave?
any type. So I'm looking at the raccoons, they looking at me, so I just kind of opened the back door and let them, just see that the back door was there. So
is it true that one of them walked out the door and they just sat in the driveway and just chilled?
Oh yeah, no, they did.
Which tells me they say my home is your home, mi casa, you casa, right?
Telling you.
Now, are you now more aware when you walk upstairs to check your room just in case? Because if they can make it to the back porch, they can sniff out those other points of interest that you have.
I'm saying even in L.A., you have to be concerned about the wildlife. Now I carry a knife.
For raccoons, right?
Never know.
All right, man.
Never know.
Okay.
All right. So here's the latest slideshow every week I get to do a slideshow animation. This week, because Miko was doing the makeup. So, and by the way, her makeup looks wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
So it's Miko and Vic. Vic shot pictures of Miko. Miko shot pictures of Vic. And then they came and got me to shoot pictures of them both. So take a look at this latest slideshow animation.
Been a long time since I spoke to you, and I know that there's no rhyme or reason to what you put me through. So I take your promises and all the memories, and I play them back 'cause I can't breathe. But you are so captivating, and you are the answer to my dreams. You are the only reason that I know I fall to pieces when you speak. And you are so captivating, and you are the answer to my dream. You are all around me, and I know I fall to pieces when you speak to me. The times you came and you went away, I have learned to love no matter what you say. Though the world's a stage and we are standing around, we can change the way we live right out loud. And you are so captivating, and you are the answer to my plea. And you are the only reason, and I know I fall to pieces when you speak. And you are so captivating, and you are the answer to my dream. You are all around me, and I know I fall to pieces when you speak to me. People grow, and feelings show, and answers come when you're searching. When you're searching, and you are so captivating, and you are the answer to my plea. And you are the only reason, and I know I fall to pieces when you speak. And you are so captivating, and you are the answer to my dream. You are all around me, and I know I fall to pieces when you speak to me. And I know I fall to pieces when
Bullet
you
wound to the head.
speak to me.
Facebook people were reacting. And then they said, oh, I'm glad to find out his makeup.
She did a damn good job. You got to give props to
Facebook
Miko.
folks was concerned about Vic.
You know, that's the first. They wait for me to get a bullet in the head. Now they're concerned. Right. Thank you, folks. I love it.
All right, slideshow animation. We do them almost weekly here at Pax
Put it
Steel
down.
TV.
Go ahead, Miko.
Oh man, is that Miko? She's
Yeah. She's, You know, you got some people listening. They're rating. Got to give a shout out to Miko and the drivers. They're watching you to see if you are up to par with the subjects that they have an interest in. Like,
shit, I don't know about that. I know what subjects y'all have. I ain't making no guarantees in that area. We talk about that late at night when my parents aren't home.
Wait a minute.
So I don't know what y'all want to talk about.
They want to be able to say, look, I want to share this because you represent the brothers. They want to know that you like.
Okay, okay. No, I'm not sharing shit.
Wait a minute, and the ladies.
I want to show you this catfish. I had a catfish.
You know what? You got to go there. Huh? You just have you have to do that, right? I
had a catfish.
No,
you know what? See, here's the thing about catfish. When you get this girl, so-called girl.
There you go.
Oh, so I think like they deleted the profile. See, I catch them, then they delete.
Right. So here's the point. So you basically are.
There's no pictures, not anything now.
Nah. Okay, I'm not gonna even go. I'm gonna leave this part alone.
So I had a catfish, and this is how you get rid of catfish. Just tell them to FaceTime you.
Yeah.
Right now. Right. FaceTime me let's talk right now.
Right.
Abba, babba, babba, babba. Get the abba, babba.
Right. No.
Abba, babba, 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 babba.
You may end up seeing somebody named Frank. You never know, bro.
So, that's right. So, I get them all the time. They're on me. They are on me. They trying to get in there, get some, hook me up, give me a little this, a little that. I'm just saying I don't know about y'all, but I get those catfish. Sometimes I just mess with them because I had nothing else to do for a minute,
Right.
I start writing shit back. Like I was trying shit. I want you to have my children.
You just testing the water.
I write shit back to them sometimes just to, if they go catfish, you might as well go crazy.
Right.
I'm like, let's get married.
Let's
get married.
Not gonna happen, bro.
And so that's how you run the catfish away. You just have to act a goddamn fool. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, you ready for some news?
I'm not sure, man.
Ladies and gentlemen. The good news, bad news, and the other shit. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, good news, bad news, the other shit, not necessarily in that order. I want you to understand that, yes, indeed, they have confirmed Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. It has happened. So I just want to.
Big news.
It has happened.
Big news.
And I know that a lot of you are trying to recover because of the message that it sends. Well, and it does send a bad message. But let's stop for a minute. Let's stop for a minute and step back. Because a lot of times I'm convinced, I tell people all the time that when history is being made, you don't recognize that it's being made. So I would submit that the consciousness of the world as it relates to sexual assault has been forever affected. It has been forever affected. And so now that issue has been moved to the forefront. And that leaves us with certain situations that sort of sit there as something to be addressed. For one, Dick, and I've been bringing this up to various people, we have no agreement whatsoever as to what is proper decorum for young people.
In relationship to?
It's a relationship to adolescence and their early sexuality.
Okay, got it.
In other words, we need to have some frank talk, and it's gonna make things a bummer to a degree for the young people, because the things that we're going to ask them to do have never been done before. See, that's what's going to make it a bummer. See, because we're going to ask the young people to do now what none of us have ever done. We're going to ask them to have all kind of verbal cues that mean that it's okay. Because remember now, if you reach out and touch a woman's breast, as we so often did,
right?
Because that's how you did it as a teenager. It was explore, but you used all other. See, the thing about it, we relied on other types of cues, but there's always those people who don't get those cues, right? Because people don't read the cues. So in other words, your early days making out with somebody, you would kiss. But there would be nonverbal cues that it was okay to touch her breast through the clothes. But everybody don't follow the cues. And now we need to understand more clearly that everybody doesn't send the same cues. So we have to decide on the cues, because never before have we had this. In other words, now you're going to have to say to a young lady or a young man, do I have permission to do their XYZ? See,
now you know you're going to be challenged on
this. This is going to be rough.
Let me tell you something. Let me why you're going to be challenged on this. It's just my opinion. First of all, would you say moreover, women, and we say moms, and mature women who are guiding younger women, haven't they been already telling them, for the most part, this is what you don't allow men to do? They haven't been more of a leader in that area. Aren't we talking about the men need to step back and say, guess what? Your world of how you perceive things have been changed, and what you are going about and how you are doing it.
I think we need to tell that to the men, but the truth is that neither men or women have ever received. In other words, when you think back, Vic, your daddy never said to you, this is how you touch a titty. This is how you kiss a girl the first time. This is how you act when you're close and alone. Those are not conversations that people had. And mothers don't have that with their daughters either. In other words, the point I've been making about is that the young folks are out there and they have no instructions. They have no help. They don't know what to do because we haven't taught them. We haven't taught them what's acceptable. You know, is it acceptable for you to suddenly grab the girl and kiss her like you saw in the movies? Well, maybe yes and maybe no.
I think the part you're talking about is when two people are interested in each other. You're talking about when they both are feeling each other versus those who say men basically are taking upon themselves to say, whether you're interested or not, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm not talking about your obvious rejection.
Right.
I'm talking about how young people conduct themselves when they find themselves attracted to someone,
right,
and someone attracted to them.
Gotcha.
And those moments when you meet a girl or you meet a guy, how you interact with each other and what's appropriate.
Yeah.
Because this is part of the aftermath of the Kavanaugh situation. But it's not a negative. See, don't take it as a negative. These things feel negative because they are stressing us. But that stress inherently takes us to a better place. That's my point. In other words, yes, the stress that we're all having to go through now in terms of dealing with what is appropriate decorum on dates is healthy. We need to do that. I brought up the fact that people go to bars mostly. So they go to a place where the goal is to use a drug that affects your judgment. And so everybody's going there to get high to try to have sex. Specifically, some people want to get high to have the sex.
Yeah,
male and female want to get drunk for the sex.
Now,
we have to deal with this.
Can I ask you something? Mario, your better years was when? 25 to 35. Don't joke me, man. Don't joke me. Don't joke me, man.
That's fucked up, man. You were there for a bunch
Yes,
of
I
them.
was. Dude.
So what do you mean by better year?
Yeah, your better year.
Better for them or better for me?
No, because see, I want to
Better
get.
for-
I want to see you sitting down with your parent or parents.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
And how would you have had to handle the conversation?
Listen, and my parents were relatively cool with this kind of stuff.
Right.
It still was, no one has these kinds of conversations with their father or their uncle or their mom or their aunt. You don't have these kind of directional conversations. We leave it to the kids to wing it. You don't tell them, okay, so Dad, when I like this girl, how do I approach her?
Did your dad?
There's no discussions
Did
of
your
that.
dad ever, when you brought a young lady home because you were just bringing her home and you're doing whatever, and you know how dads can be. Sometimes you bring her in the house, and he does the wink and go.
Oh yeah, they
Okay,
know.
okay,
The
so that's his conversation.
Dads enjoy women vicariously
Right.
through their sons. They
So-
like to see their sons
Right.
coming in with a
So
bad mamma jamma.
So what? So I want
That's
to tell
my
you-
boy.
Wait a minute. See, that's the point I'm trying to get at. Is that you were going like this? Did you feel proud that your father said wink and a nod in the affirmative?
Oh yeah.
Did you say, Dad, we need to talk?
No. See, this is what I'm saying, which is why it doesn't get done, which is part of the problem. But now you're at a point in time in society where it's coming to a head.
That's right.
In other words, you have no choice. The aftermath of this whole discussion, it was already going there.
Right.
Sexual assault this year, last 2 years, with the number of Bus, Cosby, Moonves, all the different performers, people who did things.
The violators.
That's crazy. So now we're in a time where this is the issue of the time.
Let me ask you something, Mario, because I think, and I know the answer to this question already. You never took it upon yourself to just go grab or touch somebody that you didn't know or had
I
never
have.
did.
No, I never.
I'm
Never.
attesting to
I
how
don't like guys grab women like at the club. They just grab their hand to dance and stuff.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I would ask them.
Right. So your parents didn't have to tell you that part.
But then again, I would joke with the young girls because, okay, so you would tell by the way they kissed you or looked at you. I mean, if they're sitting there and looking at you like this.
That's totally different, dude. We're not talking about flirting.
All
We're
systems are go, right? They're like,
no, look, dude, I'm not going to say anything. I know
I'm
friends.
just saying when you're 13 or 14,
Man.
trying to get that kiss.
I know friends that when I dated and had girlfriends that I can be in the same social environment, my girlfriend come back and said, do you know your friend just walked by and grabbed me on the ass? And it's my friend. So I'm just
I
telling
never
you.
had that with
so
my
I'm just
friend.
letting you know.
They wouldn't be a friend.
See,
That's an asshole. First of all, how you gonna grab somebody on the ass? That's so. See, I've never done shit like that.
See?
Never done shit like that, even drunk. I don't. No.
That's why.
No.
There is a.
No. Well, we need to talk. That's what I'm saying. So now what? After the Kavanaugh is
You
confirmed.
took Kavanaugh to bring up the subject, right?
I'm just saying part of it is now we get to have these conversations about this.
Right.
It's going to be defined about what degrees. There is no statute of limitations.
Right.
So the next thing you get to see is what the women do. See, that's the part you get to watch now.
Yeah.
Because it ain't over. It
Yeah.
is not over. Those women are not going to let this go. This is not over. You may see nationwide protests. Let's see what happens now.
Yeah.
And the other thing, there's no statute of limitations. I don't think that Dr. Ford is really up to it. But, there is the idea that someone could bring a criminal complaint.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not over.
It may be other people to bring a criminal complaint, and then you would have a sitting member of the Supreme Court indicted. So
I believe there is a ruthlessness out there where somebody says, hold on, let him get in there. Now, I'm not hoping for that, but there's some people say, you guys are fighting over the process. Let him get in there. Now you want to disrupt it. You want to hope that he has nothing in his backpack that comes to fruition. So, if that comes, then you have a whole different game. It's a game changer.
I don't know. They just might have to go. So again, the aftermath. We wait to see what the women are going to do. We wait to see what may happen in the court, whether there'll be further legal action.
Right.
We do know that the forms that were representing Dr. Ford were doing so pro bono.
Yeah.
So they were just wanting to provide that legal service. And I've already seen issues come out from the ACLU.
Yeah.
So there's other legal remedies that are going to still be in play. So you're going to see those. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, we get to decide how we're going to at least dress the idea of discussing what is proper decorum in today's world, because we need to advise the young people out there, because right now we've left them out there on their own, and who knows what they're thinking is the correct way to perform. That's Mario Hemsley. Good news, bad news. Shit.
Love, the
Coming right
electrifying
back.
formula between two people.
Marijuana for Dummies, talking about Canada.
Charismatic, compelling.
See y'all in a minute.
Creating a union that is telling, shining a light, shedding a glow, feeling your soul. From love arises a booming energy, sending the world a message in a bottle. There is more to show. As the love grows and kicks into full throttle, the fused unit produces a message that becomes a more powerful whole, even more powerful than the love in full.
We go here, we go there, we go where we think we'll find it. Again we search until we see
That's right, that's Love Shadow. The song's entitled Where Do We Go? The MIB mix, featuring Melody, Romancito, and Silk Words. And remember, you can get it free. We posted the link, and we'll probably do it some more. dig.ccmixter.org is where you can get this music for free. It's all part of a movement, the Creative Commons movement, where artists are making tracks available for you to have for free and to share freely with your friends while retaining their rights for any commercial use. Come check out check out the Creative Commons music, and specifically Love Shadow and Laswell, which are two of my favorites. Okay? Ready to talk about some weed?
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
Marijuana for Dummies. Take a moment to say hi to everybody out there supporting us, all the Facebook friends. I see Jose Venegas chilling at Starbucks. He say he's got his coffee. Jose is chilling at Starbucks. Good morning, Jose. We call him Super Fan. And also Miko is out there in the chat room. Got to say hi to our own hot chocolate. Mac McAllister, PMC, man. So you guys, Marijuana for Dummies, lately I've been talking about the movement toward legalization that's been occurring internationally, partly stimulated by the fact that I was watching Anthony Bourdain. I guess it's the final series that he did before he passed. And one of the episodes was on Uruguay. And Uruguay is the first country that legalized marijuana for recreational use countrywide. Uruguay, which sits down there next door neighbor to Argentina on the eastern side, I believe, yes. So Uruguay, because of that, and because I do speak some Spanish, gets elevated on my trip list to to a more desirable status. And they also have some wonderful beaches, Vic, and some seafood and stuff.
Right.
So, the prospect of that and looking at some Uruguayan females entices me to Uruguay. But the other news which is hitting is that on October 17th, Canada is going to open up the whole market in their country. That means none of here like in the U.S. where you have the legal restrictions as it relates to banking,
right,
and other things. On October 17th, Canada opens up the legal market of adult use of recreational marijuana. And according to the Motley Fool, they're calling them the first major economic power to allow recreational marijuana on a nationwide level. So that's a big deal. Let's give it up first of all for Canada. Nationwide.
Trailblazer.
Yeah, October 17th. They're going to be doing it. So now that has a lot of financial implications both here and in Canada, because it really opens up more definitely the investment opportunities.
Right.
So people are going up to Canada to launch marijuana businesses. And again, it may be the model. It may actually be the model for us here in the United States.
That's interesting because I still haven't, I haven't been following, but how progressive is our leadership as it relates to breaking down the walls for, the profiting more so than the consumption of. I mean, I haven't been able to kind of follow the GOP and how they feel about they trailblaze all these other efforts, but not too much on this.
Well, they do in the private sector. Boehner was the former Speaker of the House. Mm-hmm. Got Boehner's first name.
I know Boehner. I know you.
But now
about.
He's a big lobbyist for the cannabis industry.
But see, he's outside.
Oh yeah, no. They all are cut. Whenever it's money, that tends to be the unifying factor, Vic. Whenever it's money,
right?
Everybody seems to come together, and everybody's recognizing that as a cash crop. See, some countries want to get ahead of it. In other words, they know that marijuana is a high-yield cash crop.
Yes, they do.
Exporting it.
Right.
So in a minute, it becomes a commodity that's imported and exported like any other commodity.
Right.
So you will see. And some places are going to be known as the marijuana producers for the world. It used to be, we thought of Mexico,
right.
At times Asia.
Yeah.
But for years, as far as I know, marijuana's been California's number one cash crop, even though it was illegal.
True. Okay.
So 10 days you go. So now, because of that, I am looking at my travel stuff a little differently. Because I could hit some Canadian spots too. Okay. They always go
Right.
I knew some Canadians, and then after I started watching some Canadian stuff, I went back and said, you do all that kind of Canadian stuff. So take a look. Canada's recreational market, some people are looking at this as a time to invest, Vic, because now you're going to have remember, see, Canada, let me see what words do they use. Because they're talking about this affecting the global cannabis industry.
Yeah.
Because of the country stepping forward to legalize it and then move toward export.
Would you say that them jumping ahead is grabbing a greater share of the market, and is it somewhat competitive with the United States?
Well, that's to be seen. Yeah, that's the idea, because it's an evolving world of regulation. I pointed out some of the packaging issues with the marijuana, all the different criteria and evaluations that needed to be included on the packaging.
Right.
So all these different regulations, it allows people to work out the bugs.
Right.
They still have a whole issue, for example, with distribution in Nevada.
Yeah.
See, whereas California is at least getting around some things. But from what I'm understanding, a bunch of the dispensaries in L.A. still haven't received communications from the city. In other words, the dispensary I go to is still just doing medical marijuana, not recreational, and they're not charging you any tax because they haven't received any of their instructional paperwork.
True.
So there we go.
Okay.
So take a look at Canada, take a look at Uruguay, and then, be ready to head out.
Because you're heading out there, right?
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Hey, what am I smoking this week, you guys? I am smoking White Galaxy.
Morning coffee.
Which is supposed to be an indica. I couldn't really, it's interesting in today's world. Let me see if I can show you. In today's world, you really do a strain review. So you can go to Google and go White Galaxy marijuana strain. See, White Galaxy marijuana strain. And see, what you find out is that this one they have pictures of it. See, here's images. Images for the White Galaxy. See, here's some images of it.
All of that is
Well, these are images people have posted of their White Galaxy. Some of these are just saying white. So anyway, I had trouble finding a good review of this. So I would tell you that to me, they claim it's an indica. I would say it's an indica-dominant hybrid based on the way it smokes. I think it is a hybrid. It's a little more mellow than the regular, just full indica. So, in other words, I'm having it in the morning, and it seems appropriate for morning, which means it's got to have at least more sativa-type qualities. So, but it's White Galaxy. I'm telling you guys, the prices in the hood for weed, till the government gets involved, see, this is what it's going to go up right now, $160 an ounce for top shelf. Top shelf. They're going to give you an edible with that, and that's all part of where we are today when it comes to marijuana.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question just as a status that has nothing to do with what you just covered.
Okay.
Are you going to be following up on, you remember you had a delivery of certain materials that were the subject of this segment you covered from an independent, and I had wondered, I know people are going to say, who are you talking about?
The Kratom.
Yes.
Yes, I am going to be following that up.
Right. I just want to
I was actually waiting to get some more input. I have a friend of mine that we're sharing it. I wanted to get their input too.
Okay. Are they coming on the show, or are you going to do that behind the scenes?
I think behind the scenes.
Got it. All right.
We got that coming, a review of Kratom, which is the latest natural wonder, I guess, that people are talking about. That people are using it really to aid with them recovering from opiate addiction.
Right.
In other words, they're saying this allows them to, remove themselves from their use of their opiates. It makes it more tolerable to do so than some of the other things.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Marijuana for dummies.
All good.
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
Coming up next, New Sports.
Hidden high up in a tower, from the world concealed. Midnight, the breaking hour, when the truth will be revealed. Of the shadows of a stronger, to a naked king we kneel. Yeah, your nose is growing longer, when will you become real? You become real. You become real. You become real. You become real. Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why you languish trapped in your abyss. Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why are you just waiting for his kiss? His kiss, his kiss, his kiss, his kiss, his kiss, his kiss. What are you waiting for? Lying dormant in a battle while your secrets keep. When she fooled you with an apple, now the spell is long and deep. Bleeding finger on the spindle, 100 years until we meet. From the path you fell to find a wolf dressed like a sheep. Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why you languish trapped in your abyss. Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why are you just waiting for his kiss? His kiss. So you sold your voice for certain risk to gain a human soul. Through a hole you're in her garden, queen takes you as a pawn. You were never ugly, darling. All this time you've been a swan. A swan, a swan, a swan, a swan, a swan, a swan. What are you waiting for? Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why you languish trapped in your abyss. Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why can you wake up? Tell me why are you just waiting for his kiss? His kiss, 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 his kiss. What are you waiting for?
That's the key. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Here's Kiss. Once again, a song by Love Shadow, available for you through Creative Commons. Free, all free music. That's why we can use it as part of our broadcast without getting those flags. We can use that music because it's available for us to use and available for you to have for free. Get ready to head to the part 2 of the Morning Coffee Show. You know, we do it, the part 2, which features the new sports and the hot picks, amongst others. Are you ready for some sports?
At least. At least, man.
Ouch! That's right, let's bump heads. It's time for new sports. Written and directed by Victor Allen. Come on, you guys. The bald-headed black man, rub his head and make a wish. The ladies have nicknamed him Sexual Chocolate, and he brings to you his unique fan-based view of sports. Here every day, have it your way. Here's sports! Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question that's not on my topics, just off the top of your head, and it deals with football, and it's really simple. Who should be freaking out? Which city should be freaking out right now? Philly, Atlanta, or Oakland? Freaking out. Because there's always a second half of the season. But this is the first half, going into the next game before we get to not the halfway point, a couple of games now. Who should be freaking out? 1-4 Atlanta now. Okay. Philly only got a couple of games. I'm just hitting this as a query between you and I before I go to my topics.
I think Atlanta needs to be freaking out.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head.
I think Atlanta needs to be freaking out.
They have to sit there and go.
How do they do that? First of all, they have that embarrassing Super Bowl loss.
Right.
To be the person who blew the lead. Now they have this.
Their window have already gone behind them. They're done. They're done. I hate to say it. They're done as it relates to going back to the Super Bowl. I don't think that they're done as it relates to hitting a switch and they may win some games this season, but I would be freaking out more than Philly. I think Philly's just having what they call, hangover until they hit the button. Okay. Now, I always say this. If you had a chance to watch a sport from beginning to end uninterrupted, would you watch baseball or MMA?
MMA.
Easy. Okay. So here's my question.
Of the two choices that I would not watch.
No, man. First of all, don't do that, man. You'll lose some. This is it. All right. Okay. Look, everybody knows about the fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov, who defeated Conor McGregor, the #1 in the lightweight UFC heavyweight division. Everybody knows. So I'm not bringing any new subject material to this. But I will read off for those who may not know about Khabib and a little bit of his background, because we ain't got to talk about Conor, because the whole thing about it is that Conor does a great job of shouting, blasting, and wreaking havoc. So everybody's talking about the post-fight, and the post-fight is probably more the subject, because if you're Conor McGregor, you have to ask yourself, why are people still interested why he's losing? So if you look at the last 3 to 4 fights,
he's making bucks.
He's lost the fights. So you end up going, why does he continually stimulate you to watch him? So in the UFC,
he talks a lot of shit.
Thank you. Now, let me just give you a little bit about Khabib, because then nobody knows too much about him. Okay, Khabib defended his 155-pound championship at UFC 229 by submitting Conor McGregor, who's 21-4, with a tap out, or what they call a rear naked choke. Basically, you give up. You're out. All right? So, here's the issue. I think people don't know who Khabib is. So let me give you some background on him, because I think he just made his splash, not because he won the fight. It's because of what he did after the fight. But before I go there, Khabib is a Russian mixed martial artist of Avar descent. He's a 2-time combat sambo world champion and currently holds the longest undefeated streak in MMA with 27 wins. The reigning UFC lightweight champion. He is the first Russian and the first Muslim to win a UFC title. This guy he dominated the fight. So here's the part that everybody's talking about. Of course, Conor has a mouth. Okay, talked about his parents, his heritage, his religion. He talked about everything. Khabib, after tapping out Conor, they already had security set up, Mario, around. You know how the teams always get into a battle. They always want to get in a shoving battle. It's just like, hey, whose team is holding it down? So they set up security to make sure the teams didn't get out of control being in the same proximity. They didn't think Khabib would jump out of the octagon soon as he won to attack the trainer and the team. If you guys want to go see the videos, go see the videos. This has no comparison to the scandal of Detroit Pistons, the basketball game where, of course, Meta World Peace goes in, This is way you have to go see the videos to get a sense of this man was going out for blood. Now, here's my question. Now that you guys already know this, you want to see Conor fight again on a rematch? If you saw this happen, is that enough to get you to go, well, do you rather see him go whoop the team's and trainer's ass, Khabib, or go in and put a beat down on Conor, because he's going to put a beat down on Conor again? But is it worth the fight to see the extra, excuse my language, shit that's wrapped around it?
They better make sure they package it. Make sure they get the most for their dollar.
Wait a minute. Would you want to go see it, though? I mean, when I say that, Mar, I know you're probably not going to do the pay-per-view.
I mean, if I had to see a mixed martial art event, at least this one has more of the trappings.
Right.
I guess.
Because if you go see it, people get into...
I know PMC would do it. He's already...
Right. Hey, look, I'm only saying now, I wasn't paying attention to the fight because I did look at the rankings. They're already saying that he probably right now is the 8th best Khabib pound for pound fighter in UFC right now. Maybe historically, I'm not sure. But I won't gauge that if you're saying, well, Conor McGregor is all that. Because nobody hyped up that this is the man that Conor brings into the ring. What he keeps bringing into the ring is his bombasticness, the show. Isn't that more interesting? Isn't that cultivating you more?
That's, like I said, that's how he's stirring the pot, because he makes you want to see it based on that stuff.
Right.
Which is, Ali was the master of that too.
Absolutely. And he has cashed in and said, all I have to do is open my mouth, be disrespectful, talk about your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brothers, your cousins, and everybody else, and you guys can't get enough of me. My question is that nobody's talking about how good of a fighter he may be. And Conor's already lost some matches. So am I looking forward to this next fight? Not really. I'd rather see the next man up who can battle with Khabib. So at least we now know that Mario would rather watch this than to watch baseball, right?
Exactly.
That's cool. All right, going to take you over to what I call the NFL Rookie Quarterback Challenge, man. Somewhere along the way, Mario has deep pockets. He got money to spend. And he says, look, somebody's going like this, man. I'll give you 5 to 1 on a bet. If you could pick which quarterback is more likely to get into the playoffs, and here are the 4 based on the team record and passer rating. I got Baker Mayfield, Cleveland. They're at 2-2-1. He has an 81.3 QBR. Josh Allen, Buffalo. They're at 2-3, 63.8 QBR. Josh Rosen, Arizona. They're 1-4, 72.7 QBR. And Sam Darnold, who the Jets did a great job with Denver the other night, at 2-3, 72.6. Now, Mar, I'm gonna give you time. I'm gonna let you sit there because below this, you can literally go, well, I don't know their records. And if you want to spend that time doing it, which I think you already got wisdom.
Yeah, because I think right now there's a clear distinction between the two. I mean the 4. There's 2 separate.
Baker looks
I
good.
think that Baker, even though Cleveland's struggling, like they're getting better.
Right.
New York, even though they may not be getting better, they're at least dealing effectively with some issues to mobilize some parts of their system. So that's still sort of a positive, even not while struggling. Mm-hmm. Then you got Buffalo and
they're making
Arizona.
Buffalo's coming around.
Well, the worst of this bunch is Arizona, who doesn't like they're going to do anything.
Right.
And Buffalo will have to see.
All right.
But those are the 2 that they distinctly, to me, down and then down.
Okay, so if you had to put a money bet on a quarterback that is more than likely going to get into the playoffs, are you picking Baker Mayfield versus Sam Darnold? Is it between those 2?
Oh, none of these are getting in the playoffs.
None? Oh, so you ain't making a bet.
You think they're going to get in the playoffs?
Look at the records. Because no team is really, the only team
I don't think none of these are getting in the playoffs.
You don't think any of them getting close to it? Okay.
No.
Wow.
No, I think the team that beat is the Patriots. Then coming out of the Miami looks good.
Right.
So that gets rid of the Jets and Buffalo. They're not any kind of contender in that.
Right.
In terms of Cleveland, no, they can't beat Cincinnati. They can't. No. And in Arizona, that's no chance anyway.
Wait
so none of these are making the playoffs.
That's jacked
none
up.
of them.
No, okay.
None of them.
I'm gonna give
done deal.
Wait, I believe there's the what they call that sometimes you make it in by default because the teams beat up on each other. I think Cleveland has a really good chance because you just can't put your finger on Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and if they keep beating up on each other, and Cleveland right now already is going, we got 2 wins and more wins than we've had the last 3 years, and it's all because of the quarterback.
If these are teams where you're hoping they can play 500 ball,
right?
And if that gets you in the playoffs, geez.
Right.
These are all like, no offense.
Right.
If Cleveland's in the playoffs, what does that say about that division?
Right.
What does that say about the Steelers?
And the Steelers, everybody may be celebrating about the Steelers because they said, wow, we put that whoop ass on Atlanta. But should you be judging the Steelers based on this team that's won 1 game only? So is that a false
Maybe it's just too early. But I definitely don't see none of these 4 quarterbacks making the playoffs.
And let me say this, I do believe this. The pros, the seasoned vets, they pace themselves. And then they turn it on. If your injuries are out of the way in that second half of the season, I think they raise the level. I'm still going to go that Cleveland is a closer bet. Hard for me to, I will say next, Sam Darnold, New York Jets. But money bet, because of the passer rating, I'll go with Baker Mayfield right now, man. That's it.
Go with him to do what?
To possibly get the best chance of getting in the playoffs. Yeah. I'm going to say it.
The best chance of a losing group that you have here.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's no chance.
You know what?
The other ones have negative chances.
Wait a minute.
Negative.
Is Pittsburgh
negative 15 chance.
Is Pittsburgh going to make it to the playoffs?
They may.
No, because you got Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. Those
I don't think so. Who they as a wild card? I think it's going to be Cincinnati.
It's going to be Cincinnati. Okay. All right.
So who's the wild card? I don't know coming out of there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, look, I want to do a little props and recognition because we already kind of touched a little subject, and we're going to hit it again. I said break them off NFL and Brothers Watt. This is kind of rare. J.J. Watt and his brother, different teams now, both are tied for the league in sacks. Did you even know that he had a brother in the league, man?
Yeah.
Pretty good, man. 6 sacks.
Yeah, because he had a good game. He just had a good game.
And he's with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of those things that I wonder, could they make history? 2 brothers at the end of the season leading the league in sacks. I'm not saying it's going to be there because Lawrence in Dallas.
There's another team that has 2 brothers.
Yes, it's a couple. Yeah. But this is rare. Because you want, I mean, just to make it in the top 5 in the sack list, but to have your younger brother in there as well. Got to give him props, man. Got to give him a whole bunch of props. All right, want to do that, break them off. Mario, you already addressed the Eagles and Falcons being a problem. You watch the Raiders, man?
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you see? Is this more of a is the LA Chargers like that? Are they that good?
They're that much better than the other folks.
Wait a minute. Is Gruden back on the hot seat? They look bad yesterday, dude. Let me tell you something. It looks bad. They're giving up the most points.
I
in the league.
think that Gruden, based on the history, gets more of a, not a pass, but he gets more of an extension than most. So that's why only. Yeah, I agree with how they're doing.
Right.
I think people are still willing to give him a chance.
Okay. Did you expect him to have a 1-4 record?
No.
Do you think they'll win the second game before they get to the halfway point? Because it looks worse.
Yeah, they look bad. I don't know.
Okay.
Again, you look at this is off.
What's wrong?
I was trying to look at this chart, but
yeah, it's off. You know what? Whenever that's just for your reference because
it doesn't line up.
It lines
like
up,
New England,
right?
Like, is that?
Yeah, the top. Just I'm really focusing on the teams that are at the bottom. When you go to the bottom,
so 1-4. Okay.
Yeah.
So no, I expect them to do better. There are things that look good. Carr can do it. He just had a bad.
Oh, they're on him.
They had a bad moment. First of all, he was going like he had some real high percentage going of completions.
Right.
Before he threw the interceptions.
Right. I think what they're.
He had 17 in a row complete. It was something. He had some ridiculous. He had set a completion mark.
You know who I feel.
Then he threw interception.
You know who I feel bad for?
Who?
Marshawn Lynch.
Because he yelled into his helmet. What was all that about? I don't know.
Wait. Look, man. Look. Do you know you get to a point where you go like? So the team, Oakland basically is about to go. So by the time you guys get better with this, you guys will be in Las Vegas. So is this the way you're going out? And I'm saying right offhand here, will the Raiders win more than 4 games this year?
Yes.
5.
Maybe, there you go.
So they're not going to play 500 ball, you're saying?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay. The team, I'm going to sit back behind Kansas City.
I think that Indianapolis and Oakland are going to do better, but I need to look at the schedules to tell you exactly.
Okay. I got you. All right. Washington, New Orleans, I'm going to get into that later. That's Monday night. By the time you guys even see this video, the game will already have been done. But if you had to pick who wins, that's kind of could be a toss-em. That's a hard one for me, man.
Who's playing for Monday?
Washington and New Orleans tonight.
New Orleans.
Sometimes just hard. It's hard to go against Breeze. It is hard, man. It's hard. It's hard.
Well, Washington, like I said, I think is going to have some issues until they change their name.
Okay, you know it. I think they. You know, I think they've already gone beyond that. I really do. I think they. Hey, we done with that, man.
Well, I mean, they still have the name.
Yes, they still have the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, gonna get into the area that Mario calls one of his top 50 sports. Battle bots. Okay. So the reason why I'm doing this because there was a recent Battle Bots Championship. The last time I reported, they were actually heading into from the top 16 to the final 8, and now they got down to the final 4, and then they eventually had a champion. Now it's not who you're watching here. That's Bronco. Bronco issuing that destruction. He got upset in the round of 16. Not a problem. We want to take you to the 2 finalists. So let's go on and scroll so we can take you to the first finalist, because Brazil has a team that that whole nation's behind this guy. And I've kind of picked them because they're the smallest bot out of all the bots as it relates to the power they exert, and that's Minotaur. Minotaur was going against another finalist who just got a great name. So let's scroll to, and he's already won this championship a couple of years ago, Bite Force. And Bite Force is in the white, of course, because you can see basically he's in flip mode. He's flipping mode. So, Mar, before you scroll, Minotaur, who's just that 70-pound drummer, that sort of 70-pound drummer that spins, that wreaks havoc. Although it's a smaller drummer, well, it's kind of a wedge drummer. On Bite Force, who do you think won?
You know what I'm still trying to understand what the rules are.
Rules are you have 3 minutes to get into battle. And who causes the most destruction? The first goal is if you destroy the weapon, you definitely have an advantage. You can go the whole 3 minutes and the battle is over. But who causes the more destruction, and or if you're immobilized and you can't move, they count you out. You have 10 seconds. If your battle bot gets stuck for some reason, doesn't work, chains broke, engines burning up, 10 seconds count you out as a knockout. So typically these battle bots in the playoffs are knocking each other out. It's literally going there. There is no.
Like if they turn you over, what does that count as?
Some have what they call the turnover. Is not a bad issue. Like right here, you could see that it immobilizes this particular competition. I forgot I don't know if that's Yeti or not. But some of these battle bots have what they call these mechanisms where they can right themselves. So righting yourselves can get you continuous in battling. And so it's really, how do you immobilize the competition? If you don't, who causes the most destruction? And then they take it to a vote. There's 3 judges who will literally go and say, we are going to vote who we thought or think won the battle. But when you're in the playoffs, when you get to the final 4, final 8, there is no, it's like they're wreaking havoc. And it's a great battle. So these competitions you're seeing on the screen, they're not part of the quarterfinals, semifinals. This is footage just showing you who were the final 2. They're going to show you the footage between Minotaur and Bite Force later, because they're still showing the programs on TV. Who do you think won? Bite Force, who got a nice little drummer, he flips, or Minotaur, who literally.
I don't even see what Minotaur's weapon is.
Scroll back up.
Where's their weapon?
There it is. Go now. See that gold drum? That's a 70-pound drummer that spins at a high rate of speed.
Oh, it's a big old grinder.
Yes, it is. And it just has this thing where it gets under your bot. If it gets under you, it's like somebody's chasing you and getting under your feet and launching you, and the drummer spins. And so it literally, how it wins is it's almost that drummer itself.
So it has a lot of this has to do with materials, because this one,
right,
I guess that's their spinning.
That's theirs in the middle. It spins in a more vertical fashion, but it's more of a wedge than the drum. And now the centrifugal force
Yeah, I'll vote for a Bite Force.
Let's see if you got it. Scroll to the next picture and let's see who won. Bam, you got him. Bite Force, 2-time champion. Low to the ground, has a spinner. It's something about what he does with that. I don't know how he gets the leverage, and I think everybody now has figured it out. Keep your bot low, have those forks in front to offset drummers, because most of the battle bots have drummers, different types.
And the other thing, I'd be curious which way they have their saws turning, whether they're turning this way
and
or that way. This way would tend to throw people up in the air.
Right. You got it.
This one would turn, but so I'm sure they have difference of opinions
you
about how they work all of that.
You're good, Mario. That's exactly the difference with Bite Force. The different drummers spin different directions depending on the competition, depending on who their competition is. And sometimes they can exchange parts and add parts because each round you go against someone different. So Bite Force is double-time champion. They're considered the New England Patriots of BattleBots. So I just want to let you know.
Your materials are very important. I wonder what they use it.
Oh, man, all kinds of stuff. And if you guys want to find out more, go to battlebots.com. This season, they're going to keep replaying the playoffs. I'm going to take you over now to, I just didn't even know this was happening. It just started a couple of days ago. I didn't know Buenos Aires 2018 Youth Olympic Games were on and popping. They are. They are because they have their own type of what you call Olympics for young folks. It lasts for about a few weeks. I'm showing you an example of futsal. It's a variant of association football played on a hard court, smaller than a football pitch, and mainly indoors. It can be considered a version of live or five-a-side football. Futsal is played between two teams of 5 players each, one of whom is the goalkeeper. The reason why I didn't say a new sport on this one is because it really kind of mimics soccer.
It's like the indoor version of soccer, like the football had their indoor arena league.
There you go.
The arena league version, but it looks really interesting to me.
It is. It is very interesting, and believe it or not, this is the part where I'm saying, I think when young people want to say, look, should we wait around for the traditional sports to come into our country? May take 50 years. Here's the sports that we want. Well, there are 3 new sports that the Olympic Committee, the official Olympic Committee, has now entered into this particular Youth Olympics game. 3 of them, and you're going to tell me which one you think will make it into the major Olympics if it does. Karate, sport climbing, sport climbing, and breaking. So let's take you down so you could see, let's scroll down so you could actually see the one that I just didn't think that they were going to make this a sport. So the spinning style, which is breaking, is something that we all know about. I mean, breaking's been around for a hell of a long time. But the spinning, twisting style of street dance is one of the 3 new sports added to the 2018 Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires by the International Olympic Committee. Breakdancers competed one-on-one trying to one-up each other with their dance moves. Each round is judged by creativity, personality, technique, variety, performativity, and musicality. The rules state. So is it subjective? Yes, it is. The crowd sits there, yes. The 2 people are actually battling against each other. Do you believe this sport will live on and have even more success? Or will another sport tend to be the one that gets in between sport climbing, karate, and breaking?
Well, I predict they'll have more success. Maybe not in the Olympics, though.
You don't think they'll make it there?
Well, it's interesting because you get to be a trial sport. Right. Because I thought karate was already in. They previously were whatever you call it when you get to be a trial.
Right.
Like you get to come in for
It was.
Yes, that's why I thought karate was in, but it goes to show you. Now, that's not to put down the legitimacy of this.
Right.
But the first thing you have to do is establish judge and some kind of criteria.
Right.
So those kinds of things. So I think just getting a chance to see it is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Whether or not it continues, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the part I don't know, Vic, but I certainly look forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was somewhat interested in this because we look at breaking going way back to the 80s.
Who's going to judge?
Well, see, that's the funny part about it.
That's part of the whole thing.
You know, they got some rules on the judges. That's why I said you have to kind of look.
Yeah, because what happens is at some point someone has to decide someone's an expert.
Right.
And that's always subjective.
Absolutely.
So especially in the beginning where you don't have, a history of people. So
yeah. All right, you guys. Hey, taking you through that. That was it. Hey, new sports in the Olympics. Love what they're doing in Buenos Aires. I wish I was there. I'm watching some of it. It goes on for the next couple of weeks, so check it out if you can. Man, I'm done with my sports, man. You know that, right? I have nothing else to do.
Victor Allen's New Sports, recurring segment of the Morning Club with Mario show. You can catch it every Monday. At the beginning of part 2 of the Morning Coffee Show. Written and directed by Victor Allen. Rub his head, make a wish. We tell you, dress appropriately. Sports bras and jock straps. For everyone. We want everyone in jock straps. You ladies will get confused, but you'll get used to it. And coming up next, the hot picks. Yes, you know. Get your robe open. We'll see you in just a minute.
Okay, man, we're at the end run, the end stretch, man. Your favorite subject that deals with the ladies is when they're fighting over something that has nothing to do with a man. Isn't that one of the areas you appreciate the most?
I actually like it when they're fighting over the men.
Right. Now, yeah, I figured it, right? Right, you want them fighting over you, right? Okay, well, look, this is not a new subject. It's just something I said, look, I'm going to pick up on it later. I wish I could have covered this before we went on our summer break, but I had it down and I said, look, I want to get into the female hip hop rap brawls and beefs. Some got beef, some got brawls. And there's an obvious one I left out. And I just left it out because I want to see if, well, I don't know, Mario may know about it, but I'll do it as a paying homage to, because it's ongoing. All right, so what we're going to do is this: does the beef sell? And who won the battle of the beefs, which is subjective. Now, whether Mario, you follow it or not, we're going to say, here's the
I like me
unofficial.
some Nikki.
What'd you say now?
I like me some Nikki.
I knew you was gonna go there. These beefs go back.
Work us out.
They go back even further. So this is not what they call the current beefs as much as the historical beefs. And then what took place that got them into those beefs. And to see if Mario could pick his favorite one that he would like to continually see.
Nicki Minaj.
I knew you was gonna do that. See, I knew this for the reason, but there may be some beef with that choice. Okay, all right. So what we're gonna do is just take you on down and bring up what we call a case-by-case scenario. You ready for this, Mario?
I got my robe open.
Yeah, I figured you did. Let's go over here to the. Let's scroll to the next slide and give you one where probably one of the most successful women in entertainment reigns. Queen Latifah versus Foxy Brown. Has this beef been going on? Yes. If you see a year like for this, it says 2017, it mostly denotes that it has gone on as recent as 2017. It could be still ongoing, I'm not sure, but let me give you the background. Queen Latifah's track Name Calling was full of general disses, some of which Foxy Brown took personally. She responded on Talk to Me in her own way, but was greatly ignored until Queen dropped Name Calling Part 2, where she made it clear she was gunning for Fox. Can you imagine, Mario, that you were not on the heartbeat of this battle at the time? How did it get by you?
Well, that got by me, and I'm on Queen Latifah's side. Ingrid, or as Foxy's really known.
Right. Right.
She's known to be kind of crazy.
Are you using that?
Yeah, and I like Queen Latifah. You know, I think people know her a little better. She's a little more steady.
Okay.
You got to push her.
I
got to go with the Queen.
Well, it is rumored. Now, I'm just saying this. The unofficial
They
rumor.
should make up and have sex.
Many say the Queen won this battle. But her archive, her whole thing, it makes it hard to bump the Queen. You know, that's just it. So we're going to keep this quickly moving because Mario's going to have a favorite choice. Let's go to the next. The next, you know, whenever you hear that name Trina, you know something's going down. Trina versus Kia. These two can't stand each other. They have dropped several disses toward each other over the years, including Kia's Hit Her Up and Trina's What's Beef. The two have reportedly gotten into physical altercations.
I had a video of that shit.
Also, now you're interested, right? Now you want to see the physical fight.
You know, not officially, but on a level that's organic, yes.
Wait a minute, what's organic?
In other words, my mental self says, Mario, don't be into that.
Right.
But my male self, the other little brain, says, yeah.
Get it.
Cat fight.
Yeah, you like that, right? Okay. Who do you think won this fight?
Trina.
Unofficial winner? Yes, they say Trina's skills because she has these skills that's
She's
a little
bigger.
bit more. Hey, man, I'm only saying.
Trina put up a little weight lately.
Okay, right. Okay. All right, let's go to the next. All right, you know, you can't have beef until you have somebody that has some Foxy in them. It's, of course, Foxy Brown versus Jackie O. Jackie O and Foxy got into an actual tussle in a Miami studio back in 2005, leading to Jackie dropping TKO soon after before the days of Twitter. Foxy denies the fight ever happened, but witnesses claim she lost and is simply trying to rewrite history. Oh.
She busting out that outfit.
Wait a minute, Mark. It's the fight, man. You're supposed to appreciate the fight.
The photos lead me in a different direction.
Okay, all right.
These are like some rough babes. I don't know.
Doesn't in the TV world and film and movie, doesn't Foxy Brown have physical skills, whoop ass skills?
I don't know.
You ever watched Foxy Brown back the old blaxploitation films back in the day.
That movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So who do you think won this?
I don't know if that has anything to do with this boxing.
Pick a winner.
I got a feeling I'm gonna go with whatever the other one is.
Jackie O.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Unofficial. They say Jackie O. You know when you actually
I
divide.
think Ingrid's all talk. Her mother's a teacher.
Oh.
She comes from a middle class background.
Are you trying to say she's soft and it's all front, man?
Not all.
Okay. All right. Hey, look, I'm only just going.
I don't know if it's all.
I'm not making the rules on this.
I don't think she ain't as tough as some of the other ones.
All right. Let's go to one of the favorite battles that Mario just can't wait to hear about, and that is Nicki Minaj versus Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim took issue with Nicki's initial rise to fame, believing the Queen's native stole much of her persona, which a lot of people did say, wow, it's almost like that's her cousin or something. After months of the two going back and forth, Nicki dropped Roman's Revenge, calling Kim a has-been. Kim responded with her Black Friday diss. Who do you think won this one, man?
Nicki.
Oh, you just know that Nicki won, right?
Have you seen Kim lately?
What are you trying to do?
Have you seen her? You being generous in this picture. No, and even in her good day when she was looking good, she had the body of a little boy. So she never had body. She never did. Later on, she went and added all this stuff.
Right.
I guess Nicki does too, but Nicki's always been finer as a woman.
Yes, it clearly.
Definitely.
And this
Kim never was fine.
And this beef is still ongoing. So you know how it is. You know, no kumbaya yet.
Yeah.
You're right. So you picked, you're right, Nicki. All right, not bad, man. Let's go to the next. The next, like I said, one of Mario's favorites. Azalea Banks versus Angel Hayes. The former friend had a fight on Twitter back in 2013 that led to Angel's diss record On the Edge. Banks responded with no problems, to which Angel replied with, shut the fuck up. So basically, there was silence after Angel said, shut the up. Who do you think won, man?
Angel.
Oh, man, you
Size of the fighting the dog.
First
Angel
of all,
got some fighting her.
Yeah, and plus, let's just say this: Mario was so proud back in the day when he said, "I got a new artist. I need y'all to check out." So she already had an advantage in your heart, man. You know that. And Angel's no joke. Man, she got skills. And I wonder, have you been following her lately, man?
No.
That's a sin.
I ain't been following shit.
Okay.
All right. Get some following energy up.
Okay. Let's go on over to the next. Keeping it going. Sometimes battles are with the saying over to the new. And this is a good one. Nicki Minaj versus Iggy Azalea. Nicki called out the Australian MC for not writing her own lyrics at the 2014 BET Awards, an accusation Iggy addressed on Twitter but never directly responded to. You know, they say you take the higher ground. Or are you scared? Or is it true? Or is it a lie? What do you think, Mario?
I think Iggy's no roughneck. Not that Nicki is either, but Nicki a little rougher.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Who do you think won?
Nicki.
This one, Iggy. What they chose is that silence is golden. They go like this. I'm not going to even respond to that. And so they gave that non-response, which I think is kind of crazy because on one of the other battles, they said no response meant the favor went to the person who did.
That all is in the thing.
Right, it's all that. So this is why I said this one caught me by surprise because I said, well, wait a minute. If you don't respond to something, they say you punking out. I don't know. I can't say. But anyway, so here's the choice. You did a good choice. This one, I don't know. I would say she took higher ground, but it seems like the rules change depending on the artist. So what we're going to do is find out which beef Mario, top two beefs that he says, I am going to follow since this presentation because it has an interest. And I'm already picking one that I know Mario's going to follow. You want to take it from the top, Mario?
Taking it from the top.
Queen Latifah?
No, because Queen done moved on to other things, and who even cares about Foxy Brown?
So Foxy Brown, Queen, so not an interest.
Yeah, no interest.
All right, go to your next.
Trina versus Kia, almost the same reaction.
Okay.
Who cares?
Got it. No, I mean, like, hey, look, these are past beefs now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue on through last year.
Oh, excuse me.
I see you have a choice already.
Damn, things not acting right. Okay, Foxy Brown and Jackie O. Who cares?
Oh, my God, man.
I'm naming, not because of Jackie, because of Foxy.
Okay. That makes sense.
She been in a bunch of them, but who cares?
All right.
Nicki Minaj versus Lil Kim, same thing. Who cares? Because Lil Kim, who cares?
Right.
Is she doing an album or something?
Who? Nicki?
No, Lil Kim.
I would say I haven't heard anything, but then don't trust me on it, man.
No, I don't know. This one may go on for a little bit.
Azalia?
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. All right.
And so might this one for a little bit.
Nicki and Iggy.
And Iggy.
So
just
who's your
because
top?
at least they're in the... Well, you know what I'm telling you. See, these pictures, which one, you know... I'm just saying,
You try to.
if a brother had to choose
who you
based on these two pictures, I'm just saying.
So who's your number one, man? You try. I already know what you're picking.
The number one beef is Iggy
That was
and
number
Nicki.
one, right? And now I'm picking your number two.
would have been
Angel Hayes.
Angel Hayes.
See, I already knew because Mario is a loyalist. He's loyal to Angel, but he's also loyal to attractive women.
I need a woman that'll fight for me.
All right, good. Now, I left off one that most people are going to say, and the only reason I have it, because I need to get more information as it is ongoing. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. As recent as a few weeks ago where you saw some busting out.
I want to hear some of that.
Right. So I'm using that as a different show feature. And I'm going to tell you how, because that is the hot beef right now. So my apologies to those of you who are going, where's Cardi B and where's not? Just wait. I'm done, man. I'm done.
Hot picks. Man, well, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a wonderful week. And I've got a wonderful week coming. Remember, Tuesday night we had the Quiet Storm. Friday. Is this the one we're off?
Yeah, we're off. We this Friday, Miko's on project, so we come back Friday after next.
So we'll let you know about the other stuff too. Want to thank you for being part of this. You know, like we say, ain't nobody got our DNA. Want to thank you, Facebook folks, Dennis, Jose, Phil, Brenda, everybody, Mac, Audrey.
Your favorite MC.
What's happening, y'all? Everybody.
Wizard Man.
Let's go.
First off, I'm not your regular dude. I bust moves like a young MC. Yeah, sorta, that would be me. Got me thinking about putting down the mic one day. Then I get some more love. Thanks for the love. I gotta play. Hey, what can I say? I'm a Leo to the finish, man. I love God, so my faith won't diminish, man. Once I step up to the mic, I speak truth. Hip-hop wasn't designed to exploit the black youth, but somewhere along the lines, we dropped the ball, yeah. I mean, that man in the mirror, yeah, that ball dude. But now I'm back to right the wrongs of my past world. So let me walk this off my list like my name's Earl. Articulate my thoughts clearly like Professor Les. Do you remember Rap City with Deja and Les? I'm looking at the front door, bless the main source. You're full yet, wait till I hit you with the main course. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. try, push it along. You like my raps, but really I write songs. I like to do it like this once in a while to show some versatility and make you all smile. It's been a long time coming, I know, I feel it too. The more I take a break, it's like the more I break through. With my time with Space Boy Funk, I'm on point. You bless this microphone every time I anoint the pen and pad. I face the bad head on, escape inside the music. See my diary's a song and song till I write my next verse, then I go again into the studio. I feel I gotta flow again. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. They say they get me, I don't think they ever got me. My name's Kowalski, but they call me Kawasaki. Online I'm funds, but in real life I'm more like Chachi or Cola. I told you, I'm funky like granola. Bars, can't you see that I'm a star? Who pumps his own gas in the cold really fast? As I pass on your gold digging stash, I'd rather make my own money, not advance me loan money. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. So there you have it. Nobody's got my DNA. Nobody's got my DNA. Nobody's got my DNA.
Alexa, begin playlist, broadcast transition. See ya.
I don't know that one.
Alexa, begin playlist, broadcast transition.
Your playlist, broadcast transition, on Amazon Music.